wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on another dreaded D-Rose report. WWE DVD News, by the way, reports that the Raw Best of Season 3 and 4, 1 and 2 is already out, I believe. Anyway, the Season 3 and 4 DVD set later this year has been canceled. Not thrown away or anything. But the reason for the set being nixed is because of low sales of Raw, the best of that came out in 2010. That was covering 1993 to 1994, and WWE's planning on releasing all of the Raw season's best of in that format in the future, but right now it's on hold until we get some more money so we can buy them things. But they've kind of been done to death. Most of the things that's on there has been on other DVDs, but I'd still like to have it though. And WWE also has postponed the Triple H DVD and Blu-ray DVD set planned for late in 2011. The Triple H feature now is planned for 2012. Don't tell anybody. That leads me to believe that maybe the Triple H may end up losing at WrestleMania, and then they can put that film in on this DVD where it'll be like the end of his career in wrestling anyway. That's my opinion. It's being reported that longtime independent wrestler Matt M. Cross is a part of the new WWE Tough Enough cast. As noted yesterday, those sources in California say that Big Nasty, which I told you yesterday, Jason Watt, is also in the cast, and the former Miss USA. Don't know what year she was Miss USA in for sure. Anyways, they're confirmed as contestants. The 4 trainers on the show, of course, going to be Steve Austin, Booker T, Trish Stratus, Bill DeMott. Dark match before last night's Raw taping in Sacramento. We didn't get to see Percy Watson defeat Chavo Guerrero. Matches taped last night for Thursday's WWE Superstars. Chris Master takes on Tyler Rex. And the WWE Tag Team Champions Slater and Gabriel take on JTG, Trent Beretta. As noted before, WWE's been advertising the Undertaker's return to SmackDown for last night's taping in Sacramento. Taker did make an appearance, but it was brief, and during the dark match event that saw Big Show and Edge defeat The Core and Alberto Del Rio in a handicap match when Show chokeslammed Wade Barrett. Rey Mysterio, by the way, was advertised on the show and Edge's team, but didn't wrestle. Taker return, though, came during a match, and he appeared on the ramp and then disappearing, according to a fan in attendance. But another fan noted that before Taker's appearance on the ramp that he disappeared during the night's dark match event after SmackDown taping with Edge and Big Show versus Core and Del Rio. Bill Wallace sent word in that before he disappeared, Taker actually stopped Wade Barrett from leaving and when he tried to leave the match and go to the back. So that was his big appearance for that day, I guess. WWE's Florida Championship Wrestling has made several additions to its roster page. Russell Walker, formerly known as Ruben DeJong, 6 foot 10 inch, 300. Got some big boys coming in down there, 310 pounds. He's a 2-time strongman champion from New Zealand and has pro wrestling and MMA experience. Also holds the Guinness Book of World Records for running through the most panes of glass in under 1 minute. Whew. Ricardo Rodriguez, Alberto's announcer under that name, he's been doing a thing under a mask, man. But anyway, he's on the roster page down there. Rick Victor, formerly known as Apocalypse in OVW, where he held the OVW championship after they were no longer affiliated with WWE. Victor was trained by the Hart Dungeon. Eric Roman is another one, independent wrestler from Minnesota, known as Thorf Bardius, something like that. His looks resemble something of a Viking and a Highlander. That's not good. Jared Locke, formerly known as Warrior in the UK version of Gladiators. He's a bit of a Samoan look. Jason Mullen, 7 foot tall, over 300 pounds, from Ireland, known as the Irish Nightmare. He's been wrestling since 2004 in Ireland, of all things. they got, like I said, some big boys down there, so that's going to be kind of interesting when they get up into NXT. Or I don't think they're going to Tough Enough. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of NXT, by the way. The show debuted in February 23rd, 2010 on Sci-Fi. NXT remains on Sci-Fi until September 28th of last year. And currently on their website, finishing up its 4th season anyway. Dolph Ziggler continues to push the current WWE storyline on his Twitter. He wrote the following last night. Just got my first call for a possible booking since being fired. Very exciting. My agent is William Morris. No televised bookings until after May 12th, which would be his 90-day non-compete clause. The countdown begins 90, 89, 88, 80, whatever, on the days he's been fired from. Don't worry, Vicky and her pull will get him back, I'm sure. WWE is revealing major international news this week as Evan Bourne heads to Brazil on Wednesday and Jim Ross heads to Mexico on Thursday. Bourne is expected to announce the upcoming tour in Brazil, while Ross is on the website taking part in a major groundbreaking WWE event in Mexico. Alright, what else have we got here? Besides pre-tape package segments, WWE pros were kept off of last night's episode of NXT. WWE did air a John Cena battle rap from Raw in its entirety on last night's NXT. You know, that's a relief to finally to hear. I hate to flash back to Cena and his rapping days, but that was really kind of interesting. I mean, it's funny, and he pushes that edge again. WWE hadn't pushed no edge in quite a while. It's all been a complete circle. I enjoyed it. All right. As noted before, m.v.p, his original tag partner for his New Japan debut, was arrested over the weekends for stealing a taxi cab. m.v.p wrote the following on his Twitter about Nosawa and his troubles. He said, "Best wishes to my man." He says, "He's a good guy that allows alcohol to influence him and make a bad decision." Yeah, I ain't been that drunk yet. Besides pre-taped package segments about the pros, well, anyway, let me get on back down to here. WWE continues to fuel the hype around The Rock, Cena, The Miz, WrestleMania 27 with a new Twitter list that they've got set up on Twitter account /WWE/RockMizCena17. 17? What do I say? Anyway, the list description reads like this. Following tweets between The Miz, Cena, and Rock leading up to WrestleMania 27. That's all it says. WWE opened up a Twitter account for their WWE Classics. It's called @Classics, at WWE Classics Web. All right, Jericho has been appearing on TBS George Lopez show later tonight. He's been on there before, I think. He's on again later. Don't know what he's pushing. Florida Championship Wrestling referee Tony Smith noted on his Twitter that he's been called up to WWE's main roster and leaves for the road this Saturday. Vince McMahon spoke to the Miami Herald recently and described WrestleMania in the following words. Boy, he's got a way with words more. His tongue flops around in his mouth more than a French whore, you know. He says you can liken it somewhat to the Super Bowl, he says, I suppose. But other aspects is that's a hybrid of all forms of sports entertainment rolled into one. There's nothing like WrestleMania. And it's the Super Bowl combined into a Broadway play, maybe throw in a little demolition derby, alongside with Disney on ice. Vince. It's a combination of so many things. You've never been, seen anything like it if you've never seen a WrestleMania. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, so be there, see it, feel it, experience, and you'll really have to see it and to believe it. Once in a lifetime, I think it's once a year, isn't it? Alright, WWE released the following, well, I ain't got enough time for that doing it. I'm about out of time. I better get my little clicking thing here and say, I gotta go.